So apparently Chaeiry and Jstlk has been in a romantic relationship for a while, since January, okay? At least, okay? And they've only met up recently in June, okay? And they have split up now, all right? And now Chaeiry is accusing Jstlk of using her to acquire information about Destiny, okay? Anti-fan information about Destiny. That is essentially what Chaeiry is accusing Jstlk over, okay? So if this is your first time hearing this, you've probably been living under a rock, or you have been touching too many rocks because you've been living IRL this entire time, okay? So Destiny was right. They were dating cringe in January and then actually met up in June, yeah. And considering how a lot of anti-fans' criticisms revolve around, Destiny taking advantage of mentally ill women, and Chaeiry herself is one of the most mentally ill women in the space, okay? Despite her mature attitude, mature looks, she herself has the immaturity to never seek therapy, okay? Which makes her the ultimate BPD princess, okay, for Destiny and Jstlk to utilize back then, okay? With that being said, all right, with that being said, obviously, very yikes. But regardless, um, yeah, he's done for. He can't cover Destiny anymore. In my opinion, he can't cover Destiny anymore without being called out for being like a hypocrite, essentially. Okay. Um, but yeah, all right. And you know what's the funniest meme is that essentially Jstlk was trickle down fucking Chaeiry, right? I think a few years ago, I think Jstlk made a tweet at some point where he essentially said, I am going to trickle down fuck anyone that Destiny fucks. So Chaeiry hooks up with Destiny, okay, a random girl back then. And then now eventually Jstlk fucks Chaeiry. Ooh, I don't know about this, man. All right. He dated just to get insider info on Destiny. That's what Chaeiry is accusing him for, but I don't think that's the case. All right. For the record, okay, very nice of you to actually care about Chaeiry when you are essentially making like a stream about her, the entire time, right? For like 3 days straight. So for like 3 to 4 days straight, Jstlk was making streams about her, and Chaeiry did call out Jstlk, okay, for that happening. But either way, okay, Chaeiry couldn't get over. They both had the lolcow gene, okay, both Jstlk and Chaeiry. With that being said. Here's Cherry's new statement. By new statement, I mean her like fifth statement, okay? Because she keeps on making like more and more statements, I guess. So I guess fuck it, here we are, right? So, Cherry, my statement to clarify some of what happened over the last couple of weeks. Okay, let's do it. What did she say? There are valid concerns people have raised in reaction to my public posts over the last couple of weeks that I feel responsible to address. First of all, I am sorry. Posting through my intense lows is an impulsive tendency I am never proud of. Okay, when are you gonna actually, like, go to therapy, though? Just go to therapy. It's not, like, for the love of God, okay? Alright? Jesus. Also, you know what's really funny? What's really funny is Jstlk decides to date the one person that is infamous for leaking DMs, okay? And for crashing out whenever her mental is at a low level, okay? Dude, you can't be this desperate, okay? You actually cannot be this desperate, okay? This girl is like the biggest fucking red flag I have ever come across, okay? She is redder than a tomato when it comes to red flags, okay? She is like a quilt, except the quilt is just like a bunch of red patches like stitched together, okay? She's redder than a kite. Like in the sun, okay? Anyhow, yeah, Cherry posts all of her private life online, then gets mad when people talk about it. Exactly. Okay, she's a lolcow, yeah, in this instance. Um I'm seriously not well. My behavior, while you have compassion for me, should not be normalized. No, you should normalize it. It will make for great content, actually. The suicidal ideation I was expressing privately was much worse and more threatening and concerning than anything I posted publicly. Jstlk calling a wellness check to my home that led to me being involuntarily committed probably saved my life. I was spiraling and escalating for days, and on that day, at that time, with me being in the US and him in Canada, he had no other means and every reason to believe I was in crisis with credible concern that I might hurt myself. I will never be. Yeah, so apparently Jstlk fucking called crisis, like fucking called a wellness check on her, okay, because he thought that she was gonna kill herself in that moment, okay. Oh, Jstlk, what the fuck were you doing? How did you drive her this much to suicide? You know, I can, like, if you were on a 16-hour call with Jstlk, all right, I could totally understand why you might be driven to suicidal ideation, okay? But this is really just a chemical bag of explosives and a timer waiting to go off, you know? Um, but, but yeah, but pretty crazy, okay? This is pretty wild shit, okay? Even, listen, even Chud Logic had to come out to blast Jstlk, okay, um, which is pretty crazy. That's something new, right? Um, but Jesus, like, if you don't know what I'm referring to, basically Jstlk said I was on a 16 no, I think it was Chaeiry who said I was on a 16-hour call with Jstlk, okay, discussing our lives, whatever. We were on a 16-hour call. It was like, okay, 16 hours with Jstlk, man, fuck me, dude. Oh my god. No wonder Queeman is so brain rotted, okay? He spends more with apparently Jstlk says on stream that he spends more in voice chat with Queeman than he does with Chaeiry, okay? I don't know, maybe you should start dating Queeman at this point, alright? No wonder Queeman is so brain rotted at this point. Okay, the suicidal ideation I was expressing privately was much worse and more threatening than concerning than anything I posted publicly. Jstlk calling a wellness check to my home, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Jstlk did the wrong thing. I think he did the hardest thing, and it saved my life. I do not want to imagine that means Jstlk did the wrong. I don't think he did the wrong thing here. Okay, fuck it. All right, you're a fucking crazy woman. Okay, crazy women like you need to be locked up. All right. I would also like to say we did not have an affair. I did not cheat on my husband. My husband and I have been poly, open, closed together. Okay, how could you guys be open, closed, poly at the same time? Unless you're saying like these are different phases of your relationship. If so, then okay, fine. Separated on and off in our 10 years together and both have negotiated romantic and sexual partners outside our marriage. Do not recommend. I first seriously thought to separate after my miscarriage. This is totally possible if your mental is actually solid. But for me, I just don't think you have your mental in check to handle this kind of stuff, okay? Just for the love of God, all right? Just please, okay? Jesus. And both have negotiated, blah, blah. I first seriously thought to separate after my miscarriage 2 years ago before I even met Jstlk. My husband and I, after a few months apart, ended up trying couples counseling to work through some reoccurring problems. We've been together for a decade because we love each other, but for years we have not been in love. Okay, do you mean like, okay, you love each other, but you're not in love? Don't people generally associate unless you mean you guys no longer share romantic intimate moments together. You guys haven't fucked. Or you guys haven't shared like any kind of intimate time together at all, like cuddling or something. Like you guys have just literally never like had okay, you can only be okay, you can only be in love with I feel like you can only be in love with someone like in like the first like what, like 2 years max? 1 year max? Like fuck. Well like that in love feeling is like what is that? The honeymoon phase, you know? That's what it is. Anyway. Wasn't she contemplating leaving him for Jstlk? Where did you hear that? No oral sex for years? No kidding. All right. Oh, also, guys, okay, since you guys are here, okay, there are more people joining in now, okay? 53 concurrent viewers. Right now we have 15 likes. We have 15 likes right now. Could you guys please be so kind as to hit that like button? Okay, it would be much appreciated, okay? 51 concurrent viewers, and we're not even at 30 likes, okay? So let's bump up these likes. Let's bump up these likes, and let's get it in the algorithm, guys. Let's get my stream in the algo, okay? And in addition, okay, if you guys have extra money to spare, if you guys like my commentary style or what I cover or the kinds of things that I do right here, okay? All right. Having to put up with Jstlk shouldn't come free, okay? All right. So please, if you guys have the extra audacity, okay, the extra fortitude to do so, okay? All right. The ideation, okay, your ideals being tested, okay? All right. Please consider, okay? Please consider donating a super chat or memberships or gifted memberships to your fellow viewers. Okay, we still have a lot of white names in chat. Okay, we need to keep donating memberships until everyone except for Chinchilla gets membership. Okay, all right. But yeah, how do I join your Discord? Thank you, Buckle. There you go. Okay, so join my Discord server as well. It would really help a lot. But yeah, please consider financially supporting me. I am super serious about this content creation shit, so please consider it. Thank you so much. All right. Anyhow, okay, anyhow. All right. With that being said, let's continue. Hey. Okay, you need to save your money, okay? You, Misaki, you need to save your money, all right? Yeah.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
My last dono till payday. Crying
Yes.
face.
Okay. All right. Everyone except for Misaki is allowed to donate, okay? Thank you. Jstlk never crossed that friend line with me while I was married, despite my interest in him. He had no feelings and expressed none for me, romantic or sexual, in return. In January, when I learned what Destiny did to me in 2023, that reopened a lot of old wounds and put a lot of stress on an already fragile marriage. After my allegations were made public, Destiny posted old private messages from me, previously confiding in him about my personal life, to his DGG chat. I soon after started looking for professional help to get a hold on managing the stress I knew was going to keep piling up, as it is something I struggled and failed at composing a few times in very public ways, unfortunately. This year, the reality of divorce has come up a lot. It is hard to actually decide to get a divorce with somebody you love, but not in love with. Okay. You're saying you're on like a 5 on the love Richter scale or some shit, right? Like you're at a 0 to 10 and you're at like a 5, right? This is what I'm trying to explain. Probably not well, but we made that decision. I told Jstlk after, and once again, I told him I was in love with him. Oh, cringe. How the fuck are you in love with someone after like 6 months? Okay? Guys, the slowly you fall in love, the better. Okay? Alright? Just, there's no reason to take it this fast. Okay? Why the fuck do you have to go this fast? There's just no reason to. Oh, hey. Very based. Are we gonna have that dono come in?
A magnanimous dispensation.
Yes, indeed. Rat, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Okay, that's much appreciated. Hold on. Okay, thank God. Chinchilla did not receive anything. Okay, thank God. Thank God. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. That's very big. Can we all get a W? Can we all get a W rat? Okay, can we all get a W rat in the chat, please? Dude, it's so based, okay? Supporting your local streamer, okay? That deserves a shout out in its most magnanimous proportions, okay? Thank you. Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much, okay? I love you, okay? All right, one of my favorite Oilers, okay? Okay. Anyway, all right. Just a piece of advice, okay? There is no con to falling in love too slow, okay? There's no con. None. There's no cons, okay? You think they started love bombing each other as Discord kittens are wont to do, okay? All right. Because I think that people on Discord and people IRL love bomb each other way too fast, okay? And then they start like getting like fucking start getting crazy. But IRL, dude, sometimes a slow cooker has the best tender meat, okay? Confucius say, okay? Confucius say, okay? Confucius say, all right? Oh, the slow cooker, the best love meat. Oh, 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 the microwave cooker, the worst. Oh, the lowest quality. Okay, listen. All right, that's your piece of advice. Okay. Anyway, think about it. Okay, what's best? Roast beef in a fucking crock pot, like slow cooked over 8 hours. The beef getting cooked over medium fire over 8 hours, or a microwave. You're microwaving waving a piece of beef. Obviously, one is far better, right? Yeah. Anyway, taking dating advice from Asian T. Jeffrey Dahmer is crazy. Based. I will kill everyone. Okay. This year, the reality of divorce has come up a lot. It is hard to actually decide to get a divorce with someone you love but are not in love with. This is what I'm trying to explain, probably not well, but we made that decision. I told Jstlk after, and once again, I told him I was in love with him. Hello? Based? Based, $10, yellow dono, piss dono!
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
I just wanted to donate for no reason 3 dash.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, okay? Guys, can you get a W Zorp in the chat, okay? Fucking W, $10 dono, okay? Thank you so much, Zorp. I think that's your first dono, so welcome. All right. Well, welcome to the Oilers Club, okay? All right. Actually, Oilers Club is only at least $50, actually. Welcome to the Dolphin Club, okay? Dolphin Club, all right? The stress of everything has been going on in my life just got overwhelming. But without going into detail about my mental health, all I can say is I needed help. And I'm really happy I have people in my life that care enough to make sure I get it. Thank you all for the well wishes. I love you all, Chaeiry. Okay, all right. Who wants to take bets here? Who wants to take bets here that in 5 days she's going to make another one of these posts? Anyone want to make some bets? Anyone, here's the thing, okay? Here's what I think is the best move. If you had a crash out online, you don't need to make a statement. Stop making a fucking statement. Okay, stop. Just don't make any statement and go on. And then go on to live your life, okay? Stay off the internet, seriously. Okay, do you know how brain rotted I am? I'm incredibly brain rotted, okay? I am so ridiculously brain rotted, okay? All I have in my private playlists is autism, okay? My long music playlist, autism, all right? It's all just autism, okay? On God, all right? Okay. Hey, listen, all right? I just want to show this again, all right? I just want to show this again in case you guys have missed it, all right? But someone drew amazing fan art, okay? Someone drew an amazing fan art, so I just kind of want to show it off and have an excuse to put inside the video, okay? Before we move on to Destiny, all right? So, this is by artist named Expunged, who is on the server right now. All right, it is the profile picture that I have set for my server, not my server, fuck, for my Discord profile and for my YouTube profile, okay? Just look at this shit. Look how funny this is. Look, not funny, but look at how much I don't know. There's just a lot of life in this kind of art. Apparently, they do actually draw prawn. Okay, all right, but we don't talk about that. Okay, listen. If you draw good enough art, I know that you draw porn. Okay, you definitely draw porn if you draw art this good. Okay, 100%. Okay, we always need our own Wolfgang, guys. Look at this shit. Look how fucking dope this is. All right, that nose. Yeah. Dude, look, he's literally, oh, I just noticed he's a gnome. Okay, he's a gnome, okay? Oh, yeah. So, this is referencing the time I called Path of Exile, POE, poo of excrement, because it was, like, just breaking my computer. Not breaking my computer, but just taking up too much of my GPU. But yeah, look how cute this is. Look at this shit. Who the fuck program, a poo of excrement? No RAM. And this is, I think this is Hassan. This has to be Hassan, okay? Oh yeah. Apparently, Listen, I don't wear headphones, okay? I stopped wearing headphones, but I do have headphones. I do have headphones. Like how I have glasses, okay? All right, but there's an alternate version of myself out there that wears glasses and wears headphones, okay? So there you go, okay? Um Oh, there you go. Oh, here. And now we have Dean Withers. Look at this shit. Look at here's Dean Withers, guys. Wow. You're saying parents can consent for children? On certain things, yes. Chat, dox him. Mods, twist his balls. Mods, twist his address. Twist his phone number. Find his phone number. Oh yeah, there's also this. Look at this. This is so cute. He wants to traffic them. He is dangerous. Take his children away from them. Listen, this is 100%. This is creative. This is actually creative. Okay, all right. So I asked the artist, "Hey, do you have any website where people can actually follow your art?" And they said, "Not for now, because I'm worried about AI. You know, AI. Well, I want to find like a non-AI website, right?" Okay, fair enough. Okay, you're an artist. I totally respect it. Okay. So even though they posted art before on other websites, okay. All right. I'm sure NSFW shit, okay? The moment they make a new account on another website, I'll send it to you guys, okay? You guys should follow this person, okay? This is amazing art. This is actually talented shit, okay? Like there is such thing as slop. There is such thing as like art style slop where you're like tracing or like you're like just copying something. But this is something else. Look at this. There's a lot of personality behind it, okay? Anyway,